that's correct. Reliance Industries has started a fresh value unlocking drive once again by this new structure which has been announced, where the digital business will be, or Jio will be moving into a separate wholly owned subsidiary. The analysts on the street are actually saying that this is a much more cleaner structure in terms of ownership of Jio. The digital business, so Jio has been split into digital business as well as the platforms like Jio Fiber, etc. So there are two businesses now, and the management clearly is very keen on the guidance which they had given in their of getting in global partners into the company. Of course, the company now becomes completely debt-free, but getting global partners and value unlocking seem to be the top of the mind of the management, which they have clearly mentioned in the press release as well. And now in a debt-free format, the valuations this business will be able to garner will be comparable to global peers. That's what we gather after talking to people who have worked on this transaction in the company. And last couple of years, the management has been consciously moving in the direction of getting better valuations and business models which are much more sustainable. And historically, Reliance is when only a petrochemical and an oil company, refining company, always got valuations of 12 times 1 year forward on average. Right now, Reliance is trading at 19 times 1 year forward because the street has already started giving it digital business valuations comparable to global peers. And now with this cleaner structure, the debt actually moves out of the company into Reliance itself. So this company will not have any debt, a big platform with reach around the country, and of course, best of the best digital technologies into it. We should be expecting some announcement of some kind of a equity participation by a large global private equity player or large global technology company wanting to make inroads into the country in a very wide format, partnering with Reliance Industries. That's what we are understanding is the what agenda and the objective of the management with this transaction. The stock has already done very well in the last 1 month, going into results as well. And most of the analysts are saying that this transaction will go down well on the street when we open for trade the next time.
Okay, Ajay, thanks for that. Devin Choksi also joins us. Devin, hi, good morning. Just want to start with your understanding of how the structure is suited for the company, for Reliance Industries as a whole, and even for the whole newly formed wholly owned subsidiary, which will be Rel Jio and the entire digital business. What do you make of the structure? Is it a prudent idea?
Yes, good morning. In fact, I think, as Ajay had mentioned, the structure becomes, I think, quite a cleaner one. Reliance Industries is assuming the role of a holding company for the time being. The holding company would hold the businesses of energy portfolio as well as, I think, the retail and the media portfolio. And they are separating out the digital business into a wholly owned subsidiary, which would in turn, I think, also have the investments in the Jio platform, which is basically mobile, the enterprise, as well as the fiber to home platform, which ultimately is going to be a distribution arm with infrastructure for the entire content. And the beauty of this structure is that the wholly owned subsidiary is going to be holding the contents. In the international markets, the contents value differently vis-a-vis the infrastructure and the investment made into the distribution setup. So certainly, I think creating a wholly owned subsidiary and putting contents into it and distributing this content onto Jio platform, and God willing, I think on other platforms as well going forward, in such situation, you might probably see, I think, the larger amount of valuation building for the company and unlocking of valuation at a later point of time. So certainly, I think this becomes, I think, a very, very pronounced structure as far as, I think, the outlook on the companies and the valuation is concerned.
Devin, what about the value unlocking that you see once this development is fully transpires?
See, the good part is that I think infrastructure business in the Jio has already been transferred into further subsidiary, which is InvIT. I think in that, I think the entire infrastructure has been transferred into. So as a result of which, I think Jio becomes a very light platform. It is holding only spectrum-related debt, which is about 40,000 crores, so which is good. And in that process, I think they already have the proposition of adding somewhere around close to 100 crore plus customers from currently 35 crore customers, because they would be integrating all the networks. The fiber would be carrying the network of internet, the set-top box, lease line, landline, and along with that, I think, of course, the mobile. So all of them would merge into one network, and finally, I think, would start driving the entire business for Reliance. So Jio becomes, I think, a much cleaner platform, and I think potential that it holds is, I think, significant. Even if you consider the announced tariff plan of 700 rupees per month to 10,000 rupees per month kind of a bandwidth, in which I think you would have different size of customers, it clearly suggests that I think even at the very minimum 700 rupee per month kind of a plan, the company would be, I think, somewhere around 84,000 crore revenue book on a 10 crore customer going forward, which could possibly generate 35 to 40,000 crore EBITDA from this particular vertical itself. So I think they have very clearly laid down this particular plan, and I guess I think this is where the value unlocking could be, I think, significantly higher. Maybe I think if he wants to put a number to that, my own take is that I think the digital platform alone has the potential to produce the market capitalization of current Reliance, which is of 9 lakh crores.
Okay, Devin, great chatting with you and wish you a very happy Diwali, not only you but your family as well. Thank you for joining us once again.